Nobody's going to hate on you for doing worse than them. Everybody actually wants you to succeed, but not more than them. See, when you're on the way up and you're striving through and you're struggling, you'll get some comments of encouragement and motivation because people like to be reminded about chasing your dreams. And we like to encourage the underdog. But when you're doing well and you're on the top and you've got the result, people will often tear you down because all you do is remind them of where they failed. We have this ongoing worry of what people will think about us, what people will say about us. And many of us stop going after what we want in life because of the fear of rejection. The criticism that we get, the questions, the queries. I get this a lot within my clients when they're losing weight, getting fit, feeling strong, getting confident. They're moving out of toxic relationships. They're upping their standards. They're getting into situations which are better for their life. They're leaving jobs they hate. And people say, what are you doing that for? What are you spending that money for? You can get it cheaper down the gym. You don't need to lose weight. You're already skinny. But you're getting up at what time in the morning? You're stupid. You're too old for that. You're too old for that. You're not strong enough for that. You'll never do it. And people say this when you're at the top and you're getting results and you're doing well for yourself because basically everybody reacts like a mirror. And we can have an unfortunate disadvantage in life when we respond too emotionally to other people's opinions of us. When people throw judgment, hate, backhanded comments at you, it's almost never about you. It's about them. You're showing a mirror to their insecurities. You're showing them what they're behind on, the things that they're not chasing, the fact that they said something and then are doing something completely different. You're triggering their insecurity, not your own inadequacy. If we respond like a mirror, you've got to consider that it's probably few and far between that people on the way up are tearing other people down. They say there's two ways to build the tallest building. You can build the tallest building, or you can literally rip everybody else's down. Which one's actually easier? It's debatable, but most people will go for just tearing everybody else's down because it's hard to build the tallest building. It's hard to push ahead when not everybody's for you, not everybody's encouraging you. Some people feel like they're against you, but in reality, they're against themselves. How great would it be to be on your way up, or even at the top, getting there, and be encouraging everyone else beneath you, or encouraging everyone else that's ahead of you, or on your level? Wouldn't it be good just to offer some more support and encouragement along the way whilst we have our journeys of growth and progress in life? See, how many people speak to you in backhanded comments, in judgment, in hate, in criticism, and that's not really constructive? How many people speak to you in that way? And it happens a lot, and I've had it a lot in my life as well, on my way up from leaving a toxic job that I did not like and I didn't appreciate anymore, a mindset that didn't serve me, a party lifestyle with drink and cocaine that just wasn't good for my mental health, and I left that and I left certain people because of it, and I started a sober lifestyle, and I started a gym business and an online coaching business, a life coaching business, which helps people now. And on the way, I got a lot of criticism. I got a lot of pushback. I also got a lot of encouragement as well. But then when I started to do better for myself, you always get the backhanded comments and the questions and the queries. And that can be hard to deal with sometimes when people are pointing the finger at you. But then whenever we point the finger, we fail to see the three pointing right back at us. And that means we are at least 3 times more responsible for our own emotions and our own judgments and our own reactions than anybody else. So the bloke that's on the sofa criticizing your dreams, taking the piss out of you, isn't in the arena. He's not fighting battles. See, warriors don't have time to throw stones when they're in their own battles, when they're in their own fucking war, and they're doing well for themselves and they're pushing forward. It's like the fat guy who's at the football match and going, I wouldn't have done that. You seen him like, where I, man, where I, fucking drinking 10 pints, thinking he knows it all, criticising the players who are clearly the athletes doing the fucking work, saying I could do better, shouting his criticism. I get it, we like to be into the moment in sport. But at the same time, you get what I'm saying, right? People will call you worse than shit who are not doing shit all themselves. That's unfortunate. And sometimes though, if you're a sensitive person, like I can be a very sensitive person. I'm thick-skinned, which you have to be when you're self-employed, when you're living a different lifestyle, when you're choosing sobriety over intoxication, when you're being a bit outspoken about certain things online that you agree with and disagree with. You have to be thick-skinned, but I can also be sensitive. See, people see a successful person who's confident, strong, capable, maybe in the media or getting more attention than they are, and they forget that there's a person there. There's a person who struggles as well. And no matter who we are in this world, whether we like it or not, we are in this together. And we will go further and farther together. The lone wolf starves. There's a phrase that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And I'm very much about going together. Yes, there's certain things I want to do on my own, but this journey of life and growth and progress and results and abundance does not happen with just us. The lone wolf will starve, as we've said, and we will get progressively more disappointed the more fiercely independent we try to be. We can try to figure it out on our own. We can say fuck the world and fuck people, I hate people, fuck everyone, I'm do it myself. But at the end of the day, we're only as strong as the people around us. We have to have some sort of team, tribe, community, family, some sort of communal presence that is at least somewhat uplifting and encouraging and energizing to be around, because if we are in a toxic environment, no matter how fucking positive we feel we might be, we are going to be dragged and drained by the energy that's around us. So I choose in my life now to surround myself with mostly positive people. And if somebody comes into my life who I perceive to be negative or draining or toxic, if you will, again, these are all just perceptions. They're not really that way. It's just what we perceive. But we, again, have a choice to keep our standards high, to say this person is not really going to be very useful in my life. You do their thing, I'll do mine. I'll keep my standards high, because we will always raise our standards or lower them to the level of our immediate peer group. We get sometimes triggered at people's opinions of us, but yet we lower our standards when we're around certain people. So I say, oh, he's a bad influence, drags us out in the drink all the time. No, he fucking didn't. You did that. You chose to say fucking yes. Oh, I'm hanging around all these people, you know, that they're no good for us, they always take us down the wrong way. No, you took yourself around the wrong way. At the end of the day, we are heavily influenced by those around us. So doesn't it make sense to be around coaches and mentors and people that are playing a higher game than you, that are playing on a higher level, that are having higher standards than you? And guess what? The fear straight away is that you'll feel inadequate, that you'll feel stupid, that you'll feel out of place. And that's a totally relevant fear. But everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of your comfort zone. It's outside, it's in your fear zone. But most of us just dip our toes into this river of change, this valley area of fear, this arena of self-doubt, and as soon as we feel the slightest bit resistance or the slightest bit of loss of self-control, we're like, oh, I need to dip back into what I know. See, the brain's wired to keep you familiar. It's wired to keep you safe. All its job is to keep you alive. So it's looking for threat. It's scanning your environment. It's analyzing your thoughts. It's making sure that things are familiar and predictable so that you are safe. So no wonder it's very, very difficult to get successful in life when everybody on a neurological level is just trying to be safe. But we can feel safe in the notion that if you are watching this and you are compelled by what you've seen me or other people do in terms of the words that they speak, the life that they live, what you see online, and granted some of it can be highlight reel, but if you have seen a story of a struggle and a triumph and you are in yourself maybe a low place and you really want to get to a better place, whatever that may be, emotionally, spiritually, relationship-wise, financially, body-wise, you want to get to a better place, then know that other people want the same thing too. You are not alone. But we can't be allowing the opinions of others toward our personal growth stunt our step forward. We must be willing to take the steps, do the work, and indulge ourselves in a lifestyle that is congruent to where we say we want to go. Because if we just do the same things that we've always done, we're going to get what we've always got. They say insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, according to Albert Einstein, one of the smartest dudes that ever lived. And that is always true. If you just keep doing what you've done, you'll always get what you've got. So you have to do something new, potentially scary, uncertain, unfamiliar, unpredictable for you to go right. Things are going to change, because change only happens when the pain of staying the same becomes worse than the pain of change. And I'll say that again so you get it. True change only happens when the pain of staying the same becomes worse than the pain of change. So the only way that you really change is when staying still is so bad that you have to change. And unfortunately, that's just the truth. That's how we get mostly motivated, is through pain, through discomfort, through a big problem that needs solved. And that's okay. But what we got to make sure is we don't allow the opinions of others to drag us down and stop us in our forward momentum and our journey towards betterment. Every insult, every criticism, every harsh judgment or stupid question about what you're doing and how you're choosing to live your life is a test. Some of us just choose to retake that test over and over and over again until we can learn to respond the right way. See, most people will react, get angry, point the finger, how dare you, fuck you. But an emotionally intelligent person will do their best to respond. And sometimes the best response is none at all. And they say the best revenge is massive success. So sometimes it's good to just turn the other way and crack on with what you are going to fucking do anyway. Sometimes it is actually worth paying attention to the comment and thinking, does it have any weight or gravitas to my life? Can I use this as fuel to just put in the tank and use as my motivation for moving forward? Or is there some actual relevance to this point, this criticism, this backhanded compliment? Can I take it and can I actually use it for content to share with somebody else? Which is what I've done several times over the years, which is great because that helps someone else through the input of someone who has kindly expressed their opinion, but guess what? Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. And we can take these criticisms, these harsh judgments, and every time we do take it and we absorb it, it's kind of like it's going to be like a bullet hitting us. It's going to hurt, right? But for us to get a handle on our body, our emotions, the way of living, how we handle ourselves, we're kind of putting a bulletproof vest on every day. So what happens when we look after our body, right? We're putting a bulletproof vest on. Think about that. Not only are you getting your body stronger so you're able to cope with life physically better, but also emotionally when bullets come your way and judgments come your way and criticisms, they bother you less. They kind of hit your bullet, but they might go, oh God, for fuck's sake. But then after you've took a few breaths, you move on better. But if you haven't done your training, if you haven't done your journaling, if you haven't done your cold therapy, if you haven't done your meditation, if you haven't done your walking, if you haven't done, your growth practice, if you haven't done your study, if you haven't done something that's positive and motivating and inspiring and encouraging for you on a regular basis, then it's like going a day without your bulletproof vest. And then people's opinions will bother you more. But at the end of the day, we can say, how dare he, how dare she, what a bitch, what a dick, arsehole, or we can choose to put our bulletproof vest on. Take the hits and keep on fucking moving forward. It's up to you. Because everyone has an opinion. But what matters most is your results. And results will always destroy opinions. Keep fucking going. If you'd like to learn how to create outstanding levels of energy, motivation, and self-control, my second book, Supercharged, the modern day guide to doing exactly that, is out now.